Hello everyone, welcome to a new process video. I am still working through my pictures from my July trip to Chicago, but I am very close to the end, getting there, almost there. As you can see here, I've got some food photos and I'm going to have to do a flip on this one because for this pocket, I've got two photos and then I want to work in the business card that I picked up from when we were there. So I have to attach that. The problem is I don't think I have any 4x4 photo flips left, like that have the adhesive on them. I'm pretty sure I ran out and I can't find anybody that sells them. You might be able to get them like in a variety pack, but I can't get them just as 4x4s. So what's probably going to happen is I'm going to have to make my own. I'll take a 4x6 that I already have, I'll cut it, and I'll fuse the side so that I can use it as a 4x4. So I do have my fuse tool heating up for that, so that is yet to come. But in the meantime, I have to figure out what do I want in this pocket, and then I need to figure out how I'm going to put this in there. I need a background of some kind, and I have these stickers. I bought these a while ago. As you can see, I've used a couple, but not many. I want to use those for this meal because otherwise I don't know when I'm going to use them. So if I have them, they should go in the layout, right? That's my way of thinking. And I love how bright they are. I like that they're a little foiled around the edge, so they're a little sparkly. I think it'll add nicely to the layout. So I just went digging in all of my supplies and I was correct. I do not have any 4x4s left, but I do have a bunch of these. I have a whole other package after this. So has the adhesive strip here. All I'll do is I will measure, I will cut off what I need, I'll refuse the side, and then I'll be good to go. So I should mention something here. I realized that I'm gonna have a slight problem with the page protectors and then the flip because I'm using a Lawn Fawn album for this trip. And I'm also using their page protectors because it came with some, and so I bought the rest to match. However, their page protectors are not true to size. The ones that have the 3x4 pockets and a 4x4, they are not true 4x4. So I'm going to have to cut down a little bit. So what that means is, sadly, when I go to add this, you can see like this is slightly bigger. So it's not going to align perfectly. I will get it as close as I can, but I'm not going to trim this down any further going this way because it'll be a disaster because I need to leave an extra border, a little bit of room so I can fuse it, and by then it'll be way too small. So I have to leave it as is. So I will make do, and I will just make sure that going the other way that I cut it appropriately. I realized I misspoke before. This is not Lawn Fawn. I always want to say that. It's the fawn that throws me off. It's Freckled Fawn. It's a Freckled Fawn album. And I think they're not making them anymore, is my impression. I think there were some still on their website, but I think they're just like selling off whatever they have left. So there might be albums on there. There might be page protectors, but just know like it's not the best system if you want it to be true to size. All right, I just made my flip pocket myself. I fused that shut. Actually, by accident, touched just for like the briefest, half a second, whatever. I touched the tip of the fuse tool to my hand, so I hope I don't get a blister because I felt it. Pulled away my hand as quickly as I could, and it was accident, but you know, stuff happens. Hopefully it'll be okay. But I have this done, so I just want to make sure that I have it to about the right size here. It looks right. You have to leave kind of a gutter there, which I accounted for when I cut it. So if I line it up like this, perfect. Yay. Okay, so that's good. If I'd screwed it up, I have more, obviously. I could have made another one, but I love it when I get it right the first try. Now that I know that pocket will be okay, I'm going to go back to this side of the layout here. And I need a pocket card for up here. So I have grabbed out all of my 3x4 food related cards, and I will try to find something. When I think about what I've got going here, definitely I have green. I could maybe do like this yellow. Very, very gold yellow, and that actually works nicely with some of the things in here, so that would be okay. So maybe I should start with those. I could potentially also do like a burnt orange or a brown because I've got both of those happening as well, but we'll see what I find. I have some card choices, and it was a little tough because for green, I thought I had more to choose from, but apparently I don't. I have this one, which normally I'd be like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Green and white, great. But the fact that it says enjoying the best spots in town, I'm like, I don't know that I want to use that, because this wasn't terrible by any means, but it was a very Americanized, very run-of-the-mill Mexican food. Both Robin and I are a little picky. We have both lived in the Southwest, and so what we expect is a little bit different. I grew up in Colorado in a very Mexican community. She spent quite a lot of time living in Albuquerque and going to Santa Fe, so I think our standards are just a little higher. So I don't want to say that was like the best spot in town or one of the best spots, because it wasn't. Passable, yes. Best, no. So that's out. Then I have these two. I really like this one simply for what it says, because tacos. Let's keep it real. It's simple. We just wanted Mexican food, and this was the closest place we could find to where we were. So I like that one. I also like this one though, where I ate, and it gives me room to write about it, and I can say some of the things that I just said, and then what I rate. I could color that in and give it the appropriate stars. So I'm having a hard time choosing between these two. The colors work for both, so that's cool. Then I just have to figure out which one do I like the best. So I'm going to think about that for a little bit, and then I'm going to try to figure out what am I doing with this. I have to get a background for it. And if they sit, I was going like this, I think, is how I had it originally. If I do it like this, I've got green opposite each other. If I keep that one up there, that's all well and good. Then when this is open, this will be over here. There's green on it, but I could choose like a very subtly patterned green, perhaps. I think doing this color would be too much because there's a lot of that happening. So I think it's either got to be like a brown of some kind, or it's got to be green of some kind. I went into my green scraps to try to find something first, and I really only found two things that I could use. I have this scrap, which is a very, very bright green. That's a lot to take if I were going to use that. It's okay. It's just a lot. And the color is very, very bright. This is the only other one I have. I think this is a 6x6 piece. I feel like the color is toned down. It's a pattern, but I think it works well with that green. And I kind of dig the polka dots against this. My only concern is I've got a pattern in the table here. Is that too distracting? And do I care enough if it's distracting? I'm not sure. So right now, I think this is the front runner. I think I'm going to cut it down to a 4x4 and just see what I think of it when it's actually the right size and what it would look like against the pocket. There we go. That's what it would look like at the 4x4 size when it was flipped open. I do think that's the way to go. When I see these next to each other, like now when I see that, it's not even close. So that really wasn't even a competitor. So it's going to be this one. Then I just have to figure out like what do I want to put on here of these fun little things, and how do I want to embellish. I want some here. I think I want some up here. And then because this will be closed, then I have to figure out like what do I want to do here, if anything, or on this card, because there is room. I could add something there as well. I did my journaling here, and I realized when I was looking at the stars, I really only have two choices if I want to go with an orange tint. These are it. So I have this, which is actually like a slick writer, but I could use it to color in if I had to. It's just a very fine tip, so it would take a while. Or I have this, which is a Stampin' Right marker from Stampin' Up. Colors Pumpkin Pie. I did kind of do a test here. This is the marker. I think that's the way to go. I think it's the closest to that, so that's what I'll do. Luckily, it has a brush tip. It has a fine tip as well. But I will probably use the brush tip for most of it, I think, because a fine tip would just take too long. All right, so I did all of my journaling. I did my stars. I gave it 3.5. And then because I had a natural empty space there, just with how I was writing, I put a little taco stick over there. So that works. So I got one sticker down. I've got the rest of these to use here. So that's a good start. So over here, if this is the front, I had originally thought I would want something there. But now I don't know that I do because this was right across from it. I have some empty space here. I could do something over there. So I'll have to look at that, and then I have to attach this. I will definitely add some stickers there too. On this one, I decided to just attach the card and then use the biggest sticker on the sheet. That was this one because it's a little hard to use them when they start getting too big. So I figured why not? So now that will be there, and I think that adds enough color so I don't have to do anything here, which is awesome. My only concern is that when this is open, then I don't have anything across from each other. So I probably should have thought that through before I did it, but it's there now. I'm not going to pull it up or anything. So then I just need to figure out which ones go on this photo. Since I have a lot of this other stuff done, I am going to attach this. I've already taken the adhesive strip off. So now I just need to line it up the best I can there. That looks pretty good. Again, I knew this one was going to be bigger than the actual page protector, which is fine. And then I will punch holes through where they need to be on that side. But that's what it looks like. Oh, I got something that fell out over here. I forgot that I had a little embellishment already planned over there. All right, so there we go. So now we're back to this. Do I need to do anything else? These both have something. This has a sticker. See, then these two have nothing. Is that a problem? It feels like it is, but is it really? I've decided I'm not going to do anything on either of these photos, and I changed out a sticker here. I had the little blue like sauce cup. I didn't like that blue there, so I changed it out for a churro. I figured that color is a little bit closer to this stuff that I have going on, so I switched that out, but otherwise it's done. Everything is attached. There you go. Here's another one finished for Chicago. Thanks for watching.